questions, please use the raise hand function. If you have a follow-up question, please ask it following your first. Start with Bob Stauffer, 630 Chad.
Good morning, Zach. Maybe just a thought on, the game yesterday and playing the second of a back-to-back against a team that is going to work and grind.
Yeah, it's important for us to get off to a good start. I think that team over there that we're playing tonight, they work hard, so we have to match that work ethic. And we feel if we do that, more times than not, we'll like the outcome of the game.
How much left wing have you played? I think the majority of your career you've been on the right side, but how did you find that it went yesterday, and how much have you played during the course of your playing days?
Yeah, it was good. I've never played it before, but there's parts of the game where it's a little different than the right side, but ultimately it's not a drastic change. It's just more just figuring out little tendencies that can get the puck a lot easier along the wall and whatnot in the D zone, and from there it pretty much is the same.
Tony Brar, Oilers TV.
Hey, Zach, just going back to yesterday's game. On Monday, you guys had a 2-0 lead going into the final frame, and you guys saw it as a missed opportunity. Yesterday, they scored in the first minute of the third period, yet you guys stayed with your game. How much of a boost is that for you guys to either to not sway from your game plan and stick with it?
Yeah, it's obviously not the way you want to start a period. I think they had some pushback in the game, but I think ultimately we stuck with the structure of our game, and the better team won. And I think whether you're playing Ottawa or Toronto, we feel if we play as a team and with our structure, more times than not, we're gonna like the end of the outcome of the game. So it's important that we continue to do that, to continue to grow that, especially down the stretch here heading into the playoffs.
And are you guys now in playoff mode with 16 games left in the season?
Well, there's still 16 games left in the season, so playoff. There's still a lot of hockey to be played. That's 16 games, obviously, that you can't overlook, but you can kind of see the finish line, and we just want to make sure we're on the top of our game and keep improving as a team and working on the things we need to do to round out our game as a group.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Yeah, Zach. Dave Tippett said yesterday they've been, the coaching staff's been working with you and talking with you and trying you on left wing now. Do you see this? Is there? The Oilers are looking for a top six left wing, especially one with some size. Is there some opportunity for you here if you can, kind of make some success out of this move?
I think you guys are reading into something that is a lot smaller than you guys are making it to be. Trying out new things, trying to make our team better, and I'll play wherever I'm asked to play. That's not an issue at all. So, like I said, I haven't played much left wing, but there's little tendencies in the game that I need to figure out on that side. But other than that, it's not a drastic change. It's not like going from wing to center or center to D. I'm a good enough player. I can adapt, and hopefully I can keep on improving and find a spot on that side if that's where they want me to play.
I think that's, as playoffs approach, what certainly fans and probably coaches and stuff are looking for is that Zach Kassian that we've watched play before, right? That's banging, and the other team is focused on him, and he's, getting some points, banging in some pucks, and more involved, I guess. I know you had a tough year with a busted hand. Is that something that has to happen with your game? Could you get more involved and be more of a factor than you've been so far?
Well, yeah, statistically, if you look, obviously it's not the greatest year that I'm having on the scoreboard, but I feel I can bring other elements to the game that I need to continue to do if I'm not scoring. Obviously, like you mentioned, banging pucks home, that would be nice. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if I'm bringing that physical element, playing fast, playing with speed, hard on pucks, that's an element that can help our team win and ultimately give me success.
Rob Pichkowski, Post Media.
Isaac, when they put this Canadian division together, we all envisioned that if the teams were playing each other a whole bunch of times, that it would be, wild intensity and chaos out there. It's not really been the case. There've been some good hard games, but it hasn't been over the line. How do you see the way that the head-to-head meetings have gone so far in this season?
Well, I think they're good hockey games. If you're looking for brawls and stuff like that, you're not going to find it anymore in today's NHL. The game's a lot different. You take the fans aspect out of it, that's a huge factor. You guys know just as much as I know, if you play a Canadian team at home or away, the atmosphere in the building is phenomenal, and you take that away, that's definitely going to play a little bit of a factor in the emotion of the game. But at the end of the day, I think they've been good hockey games. You're right, we've played this will be our 9th game against Ottawa tonight, I believe, and you're playing the same team, you're playing back to back. It's more of a chess match by the end of the road with these teams. So and the points are so vital. So more intensity, more. I'm not really sure what you want me to say towards that, but it is what it is, right? It's the cards we're dealt with right now, and I think we've done a good job. We're sitting at the top, pretty close to our division at the top, and our goal is to make the playoffs. And as of right now, we're right along that path. So we got to be happy with our efforts.
In these games, with the stakes being so high and the games being so close, you have to walk the line now, don't you? You have to be a lot more careful about guys like Zach Kassian trying to maybe stir the pot a little bit or be an antagonist with. Every penalty could spell the difference literally in a playoff position.
Yes, you definitely have to be smart. You can't go out and be an idiot out there. I think when hits are there, you got to take them. When the physicality is there, you got to take it. But ultimately, we go into each game trying to win games, and we do the best job that we can do to make that close to reality as possible. And I think as a group, we've done a good job of that. And we have to continue that. Like you mentioned, there's 16 games left here going into the playoffs. We want to round out our game. We want to be on a high note heading into the playoffs, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to get better and hopefully hit our peak when the time matters.
Drew Matheson, Post Media.
Zach, hindsight's always 20/20, but do you wish you had not fought Gudbranson back in February, considering it wasn't a hockey play, it was off a face-off?
Can you repeat that, sorry?
Do you wish, in hindsight, do you wish you had not fought Gudbranson and hurt your hand, considering it wasn't a hockey play, it was just kind of a fight off a face-off, and it wasn't anybody slammed into the corner or anything like that?
I thought it was a hockey play. I think if you look at the game previous to the fight, there was a lot of pushing and shoving at the end of the game, and he was right in the middle of it. And I thought it was necessary to get that out of the way right away. And that's a part of hockey. So to that question, no, I don't regret it one bit, to be honest.
Okay. And you've only had 15 shots this year. Does your hand have any bearing on that?
Zero impact on if I can get a shot or not.
Oh, okay, good.
6 weeks injured when I'm playing. I'm completely healthy.
Okay, good.
Jack Michael, 630 Chad.
Zach, as you rightfully point out, it's not playoff time yet. And I'm not going to ask you to say, well, is this team better than others you've played on? But how is this Oiler group potentially different than others you've played on in terms of preparing for the playoffs?
Well, I think our top players are older. I think we're a well-rounded group from our specialty teams to our 5-on-5. I think we're better 5-on-5. We don't leak as many chances as we have in the past. I think our goaltending is top-notch this year with Smitty and Mikko. And you look at all those factors, combine all those factors, and you end up with a good recipe and a good hockey team. So you never know. Once you get in the playoffs, you just got to get in. And once you get in, you never know what could happen.
And the follow-up to that would be, you're one of those players who are a little bit older and seasoned. Is there something about honing your game so you're exactly peaking at the right time to open playoffs? Is there anything to that?
Well, you just want to, you as a player and as a team, you want to feel confident going into the playoffs. Like I mentioned, you want to be feeling your best as a team and as an individual. You want your confidence to be high. You want team confidence to be high because, like we saw with Chicago last year, whatever team plays the best is going to win. And you don't have a lot of time to find your game in the playoffs. You got to be on right away. So it's important for us to make sure we're peaking at the right time and make sure we hit the ground running when that day comes.
Final question, Paul Gazzolo, Oilers TV.
Hey, Zach. We saw what Connor and Leon did last night, and over the 8 games against the Sens, they have 41 points combined. Are you guys, the players, as amazed at what they're still able to do, just as us? Because it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I've played with them for 6 years now, and it's amazing to see what they do on the day-to-day, even in practice, but you guys get to witness it firsthand in games. I don't think, well, I sure hope so, that Edmonton realizes how lucky they are to watch these two players night in and night out. It's pretty special to be one of their teammates, but they're going to have such long, great careers that me as a player, I'm happy to be able to sit on the bench and watch them play and watch them grow. It's pretty cool to see. And you saw last night the plays they make in the game, from Leon's goal line goal to Connor's goal in the third there. It's those are plays that a lot of players cannot make in the NHL, if not the majority of them. And there's a lot of good players in this league. So it just speaks volumes of the talent those two have.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you. This concludes Zach Cassian's media availability. You can bear. Again, if you have questions, use the raise hand function. Start with Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Ethan, we just talked to Zach Cassian. I wanted to ask you about him, if you don't mind. There's this presence that I don't know if people outside the game or fans or media quite get it the way you players do. Cassian's big, tough, strong, physical. You're around him all the time. Are there elements of his game that I guess there are elements of his game that a lot of players don't have? What would they be?
His grit, his speed, his intensity. He's a big dude. He kind of brings that old school tough guy, but with a lot of skill and tough guys these days, they need that skill to keep in the game. And I think he's got it all. He's definitely he's not a player you want to play against, and you'll have to have him on your side.
Does that player when playoffs come and the big games at the end of the season, to me, that's when those players kind of shine? Is that when in your eyes, do they become even more valuable at that point?
Absolutely, because in playoffs, everything is more intensified. A guy like Cass, he's a high energy player. So when you get into playoff times, he just goes and the refs, they let it be a little bit rougher. There's a lot more on the line. So when you have a player like Cassian who's giving you that spark, he's hitting guys, and he can score goals and make plays. Like that's exactly what you want.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Ethan, how do you think your game is right now? Is it getting more rounded into shape?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I'm finding my groove again, and I'm making plays and moving my feet, and I'm defending well. I'm letting my offense come from playing good defense, and I got my mindset right. So, I'm feeling good. I got a lot of energy. I'm having fun again. So, and I'm grateful, and that's all I can ask for.
Is it difficult for a young defenseman who had such a good year last year to back it up with another year the following year? Because defense is often a learning curve to play defense in the National Hockey League as opposed to, say, playing wing.
I don't know, actually. I think a lot of it's just put on myself, really, about how much I work and study the game. I think I think at the end of the day, it's all about mindset, how you prepare and ready yourself, because everything happens quick, especially with the short season and with the way everything goes with the bubble and the off season this year. It was a little different, but I'm not gonna make any excuse for myself. I gotta perform and compete every night, and now that I got my groove back, it feels good, and I just want to help the team win some games now.
Jack Michael, 630 Chad.
Ethan, mine is a two-parter. I'll make it as brief as possible. Do you and your teammates spend a lot of time practicing one-timers from beneath the goal line? And secondly, on the bench, are you shaking your head as much as the rest of us when that goes in?
I mean, when it happens on the ice, you're just like, wow. You've seen the guy take the shot how many times in practice. So when it goes in a game, you just kind of tip your cap and be like, well, that's something he's worked on, and he's that good. So but once you watch the video and actually get to see it again, you're kind of a little bit more surprised and basically think it's a lot more impressive when you get to see it the way it is and from video. But definitely crazy goal.
Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Ethan, you talk about having your groove back, and I know you don't like to make excuses, but concussions and just kind of coming back from that, how much of that is confidence? How much of it is conditioning for you to get your game back after that?
Well, that was tough. I was feeling great. Honestly, I was just starting to get my game back there, and then you take a puck to the head. There's nothing you could really do, and with the shortened season, games are getting played every second night, and you feel like 1 week feels like a month, and you're doing whatever you can to get back into shape and lineup. But I think that's honestly the easy part. That's something you can control, but it's getting into the speed again, getting your mind thinking quick and reacting off instincts and what you can remember from the system. I think that's the hard part, because once you do that, you realize, okay, now I got my conditioning feels good, legs feel good, but now I got to get my mind thinking quick.
And the pace of the play, and it happens so fast. Your biggest attribute is your ability to make those quick outlet passes. Maybe the best defender on the team in doing that. And I know opposing teams obviously probably now are more aware of it, but it seems that part of your game has come back to where it was last year. And do you just kind of feed off of that? Is that when you talk about your mojo, is it all start with just those quick passes and that's kind of your bread and butter and everything else follows suit?
Yeah, I guess that stuff kind of to me just comes naturally. I always say I try to defend first, and then I could always make a play just reading off instincts. But I try to defend first for sure. But yeah, once I have that part of my game back, that's my bread and butter. That's what I love to do the most is just advance the puck and get the play moving forward right away, and that's a good feeling for me.
Marty Klinkenberg, Globe and Mail.
Hi, Ethan. Sorry, I popped in a little bit late. Was on another call right before this. I'm just wondering, with the situation with the Canucks right now, how big a concern it is for you guys, and are you worried about what the season's going to bring and what sort of resolution, will be made to fix this once players are healthy again.
Yeah, obviously, like we're worried about it. We're talking about it, and obviously we know what they're going through. But at the same time, we're worrying about ourselves. I think everyone here is doing a good job of staying home and getting tested regularly. But I think like we can't really focus on those circumstances right now unless they really happen. So as long as we can prevent that from happening, that's the plan. But I don't know what's going to happen in the future for playoffs or for down the road of what they plan on doing. But as long as we stay, follow the rules and stay on top of everything, I think we can just focus on hockey at that point.
Okay, thank you very much, Ethan.
Rob Chichkowski, Post Media.
Hi, Ethan. What do you like about playing with Caleb Jones? When you two are paired together, what do you like about that pairing?
Well, I think we move the puck quick. Me and Jonesy haven't played a whole lot together, really in our whole career. I know we always wanted to talk about it and wanted to. So this is a good chance for us to, hopefully make it stick. We watch video together. We're close as friendships. So when something happens on the ice, we're pretty honest and straightforward, and like to talk over plays and situations and how we can defend better and even how we can move the puck up better and get the play moving forward. But I think we still got some room to grow, and if we really want to contribute and help this team win, we're gonna have to be solid moving here forward.
I was going to ask you, how much does it help to have somebody your own age who's going through the exact same thing that you are, to have somebody to talk to and lean on as you go through this thing?
It's fun. It's good. It's we're both very excited to play with each other, and we're pushing each other to get better and in games and in practice. So yeah, it is fun. I've known Jonesy for a while, so this is a good opportunity for both of us.
Any other questions, media? Thank you. This concludes Ethan Bear's media availability. Questions, please use the raise hand function. Start with Tony Burr, Oilers TV.
Morning, Dave. Just one question for you. Your team is 8-0 against Ottawa this season. Now, I'm not saying you guys are overlooking them today by any stretch, but what can you say about your team's commitment to the game plan when taking on the Senators this year?
You know what? We prepare for each team, and you know who you're playing against, but we prepare. It doesn't matter what our record is against them. We prepare for that game in hand, and our guys have done a pretty good job of making sure that we're ready. I thought last night we had a really good first period. We wanted to go out and really get a jump early, and we did that. So every game is a different game. You don't look back at the ones, and rest on your laurels or worry about defeats you had. You got to show up to that game that's right in front of you and do your best, and that's what we try to do every game.
Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Morning, Dave. The Kara line with Shore and Archibald, they seem to have some chemistry. They had a really strong game yesterday. Same in Montreal. What do you like about that line? Are you gaining more trust in using them in a lot of D-zone starts and other situations?
Yeah, they were really good last night. They were, McDavid's line was pretty good, but they were probably our second best line last night. Just in JJ had a real strong game, but we've had Chase on there and then Archie there a little bit, just because we're messing around on that left wing over there a little bit. But that line last night, they were strong. They, dug into the penalty kill situation and just played a real strong, simple game, and they created some chances for us. So they were very good.
You only have two extra skaters right now. We know that Mike Smith's going to play. It's your third game in 4 night, but it is for the Senators as well. Are you looking to switch out those 2 spots, or are you going to go status quo?
No, we got a couple injury situations we're just monitoring here, so we won't figure that out until game time.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Dave, how did you like your second line last night with Nugent Hopkins, Cahoon, and Yamamoto?
They had good energy. They seemed like they had the puck. They had a couple chances in tight that they didn't capitalize on, but we were hoping for some skill and speed and tenacity out of them. We got that. We didn't get a lot of results on the scoreboard, but they had a couple of good chances.
And Jesse seems to be kind of all around the net, but has had some trouble scoring. Are you concerned about that?
No, he's gotten lots of chances. I think he had 3 or 4 chances last night and good quality shots. And I'd like to see them find the back of the net a little more, but that'll come if he keeps getting the chances.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Maybe I just wanted to dig in on moving the move to Cassian to left wing you talked about last night. Is this just one of the coach's tools to try to, get more out of the player? Is this a strategic thing that you might need a big guy on left wing coming up? What are you thinking when you make that move, Dave?
Lots of different things. We want to try to get him going, get him a little more involved in the game, get him a few more minutes here and there. And, our right wing, Archie's gone back and forth, right to left. I'd like to see him on that, more of a checking line there, and that leaves Cass and Chase are both on that right side. So we're looking for somebody to play over there. Cass protects the puck well. He ends up on the left side, when he's playing the right side with him and Archie there a little bit anyway. So we gave it a try last night. We'll try it again tonight. We'll see how it goes.
There's a really effective player there. We've seen him in Edmonton, that drives the game, that hits, that is emotional, that the other team is quite distracted by at times. He hasn't been that guy for a long time. How do you get that emotion? How do you get him?
Well, the first thing we got to do is find him a few more minutes in the game where he can get involved in the game a little more. He's been up and down. The injury put him back a little bit. So, I've had some good conversations with him here the last few days. We got to get him ramped up, for the stretch drive here. And that's we're trying to work with his game, trying to get him towards that point.
Terry Jones, Post Media.
Dave, if you looked at the standings this morning, it's not hard to come to the conclusion that the one real obvious focus left in the Northern Division is Edmonton versus Winnipeg for second place. Could you speak? I know you got 3 games left to play against them, and you want to play the one that's in front of you and all that. But could you speak to that going forward?
Well, we've talked at length with our group about playing well, and the standings will take care of themselves. But we know whoever you're going to play in the playoffs is going to be a good team, a real good team, and that's we got to make sure that we're prepared. So you look at the standings, you watch the standings every day, like I do, and it kind of flip flops all over the place. Toronto's kind of pushed ahead a little bit, but the rest of it is about making sure that you get your team playing at a level. So no matter who you play, if you make the playoffs, you can be competitive, and that's our goal right now. We're not really looking at which team or where it's going to be. We feel like if we get our team playing at the level we're capable of, the standings will take care of themselves, and then we'll figure out if we make the playoffs, figure out who we're playing then.
Could you enlighten us a little bit more about the situation involving the soon-to-be canceled, soon-to-be postponed 2 games against Vancouver next week? Is there do you believe there's a possibility that you might be playing somebody else in those spots, or?
As far as I haven't heard that, Terry, and as far as I know, after the Calgary game on Saturday, we're going to have a few days off. The next scheduled game right now is next Saturday, and I haven't heard anything in between that. So I would suspect that we're going to have some time to sit back, I think.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
A couple of things, Dave. Gaetan Hawes only played 5 minutes before last night's game, didn't play last night. Is there a reason he only played 5 minutes, or is he hurt?
Yeah, he was battling a slight injury there, and then so we took him out last night.
And the other question I have is Ethan Bear. He had such a fantastic rookie season. Is it hard to back that up as a defenseman the next year, considering that it's such a tough position to play? We're not talking about wing here. We're talking about defense.
No, I mean, defense it's a hard position, especially for young players. But what happened is he had a very good year last year, and expectations were low. Now expectations went higher this year, and he came to camp, didn't have a great camp, and then started to get going, and he got hurt, and then took him a few games to get going again. But he's got his game back going now. He's played well lately, and I think he's going to continue to push forward. He'll peak hopefully right at the right time and be a real good player for us down the stretch here. So his game is rounding out to where it was. Expectations are higher for him, and we expect him to keep moving ahead. But he's a good young defenseman. The more experience he gets, the better player he becomes, and he's becoming a solid guy for us again, and that's what we're missing a little bit early in the year. Now he's becoming a solid player again, and he's really helping us in our as we go about every game trying to win.
Thank you. If there are no more questions, this includes Dave Tippett's media availability.